Today I want to share 5 game changers for having a minimal wardrobe. Having a more streamlined wardrobe, I think, makes life easier. It's more fun and enjoyable to pick out outfits, and you end up enjoying your wardrobe more. So today I wanted to share 5 thinking tricks that are real game changers in helping you appreciate your wardrobe more and shop less. The first thought trick that I tell myself is I can admire something without needing to own it. Now, of course, it's not as if I always go out and buy everything that I admire, but emotionally or cognitively, I feel like I need to, or I wish that I could. And I get sometimes even mentally hung up on when I admire something, having that itch to want to have it. It's nothing major, it's nothing dramatic, but it's just something in the back of my mind, kind of a wish, a desire to have it for myself and to be able to enjoy it and wear it myself. But that's the thing. That is what all the advertisements and the culture that we live in has made us believe, that when we see something and we admire it, that means we need to add it to our collection of clothing. But that is just a trap. Because ultimately, we are going to inevitably admire a lot of clothing, and quite often clothing that we also can't afford, let's be real. And on top of that, I guess what I'm trying to get at is there is some kind of beauty in admiring maybe a cute outfit choice a friend made, or even a beautiful piece that you happen to stumble across online. There's an enjoyable aspect of noticing it, finding it beautiful, but not needing to have it. I know this sounds weird, but it's kind of like the idea of going to a museum. When you go to a museum, you don't have to buy the art that you see. You go there, you notice the art, you appreciate it, and then you go home. You don't take the art with you. And so I think the same thing can be said for clothing. Clothing, after all, is kind of a form of art. It's a form of fashion. And it can even be enjoyable to appreciate it and appreciate it on someone else without needing to have it for yourself. And you can still be inspired by it. Like, you can still say, I wish I had something like that, or how can I recreate that with my own clothing? But it doesn't mean that you have to have it. And I know deep down we all know this, but I think it's worthwhile taking that to heart and reminding yourself of that when you see something that gives you that itch to want to buy it. A second game-changing strategy for a more minimal wardrobe is remembering that you only need a few standout pieces. You don't necessarily need a full wardrobe full of piece after piece that's super expensive and amazing and beautiful. Sometimes you need some basics. Sometimes you need something just to wear to get through the day. And then occasionally you might have a standout piece. But I think sometimes this shopping kind of habit that a lot of us have has to do with feeling like we need every single piece in our wardrobe to be like outstanding, something that will catch people's eye. I think sometimes we're trying to dress for the super fashionable people in our life, like we're hoping that those people that are really up on fashion will notice what we're wearing, maybe even compliment us or be drawn to us as people or as friends, when really you don't need a bunch of cool pieces to impress people. Honestly, you can mix and match and just have one cool piece in an outfit, one piece that's a little bit unique. And you only need a small handful of these, like 3 or 5, that are standout pieces, especially depending on your lifestyle. These days, I don't even hang out with friends that often because I do have a baby now and that's my focus. And so even more so now at this stage in my life, it's like, I only need a few pieces that I really like, and I'm even okay with repeating them in front of people because if they're cool pieces, then they'll be worth wearing again. The third reminder or thought trick for having a more minimal wardrobe is that people will be drawn to you because of who you are, not because of your stuff. Ultimately, your energy, how you make other people feel when they're around you, and the depth of your relationship, that is going to be what strengthens your bonds with other people, not how cool your shirt is or how expensive your sweater is. That's just not going to be the thing that actually bolsters your connections with other people. Because I think ultimately, quite often when we shop, it is about attracting other people. Either if you're single, maybe romantically, but if you're in a relationship, it's about attracting friends and attracting people to want to be interested in you. You know, to make yourself seem stylish or interesting or like you have a perspective. That's, I think, part of what fashion and style is about. But the truth is that if you actually spend just a few minutes even with somebody, they're going to be drawn to you because of who you are, what kind of energy you bring to the table, how you interact with them, if you ask questions, if you're fun to be around, if you seem interested in them. Those are the things that are going to draw them to you more than if you have a cool shirt. Sometimes, are you not drawn to the person who's not the most stylish? Like sometimes if someone's super, super stylish, I then just find them intimidating and I don't really initiate conversations with them. And so that's also a reminder is sometimes even too much fashion could be a barrier to connection. Now, of course, I'm all for that if that is your form of expression, and sometimes that will draw people to you. I'm not trying to disparage putting effort into fashion because honestly, I think that's a sexist issue that people are against it. It is a form of expression. It is a form of art in a way, but I am trying to make myself feel better about the fact, you know what, sometimes I'm not the most stylish person in the room. Actually, that's quite often, but maybe that's okay. Like maybe there are some pluses to not being the most fashionable person in the room. And so it's okay, and we don't need to feel that pressure to always have the most cool, interesting outfit. The fourth thing I want you to keep in mind is this thing that I call the novelty trap. Basically, there's this phenomenon where when we buy something new, at least I, in my experience, tend to feel like I look better in it. If it's newer, it therefore must be more in style. If it's newer, I feel fresh, I feel good. But that is kind of a thought trap. That same piece that fits me about the same, say a year or two later, just does not feel as good on me. And maybe it's just as in style or maybe even more in style now, but somehow it just doesn't feel as good. And so reminding myself about this thing that happens, this novelty trap where we think we look better in newer things, is a good reminder because sometimes it's just that fake sense of novelty. Other people don't necessarily know how new the piece is. You do in the back of your brain, but other people don't. And the way you present yourself is going to be novel to other people. Something that was once new that felt good probably still is great on you. And so sometimes I try to reinvigorate my excitement about old pieces that I knew that I really loved when I first got them, because probably those are the pieces that might look best on me. And I think this is especially true for big events like weddings, or if you're going on a trip and you suddenly buy a bunch of clothes. Quite often, what you already have is actually going to be better than the newer things you buy. The fifth one is less of a thought strategy and more of a behavioral one. And it's to actually walk up to your wardrobe and look at it before you buy something. And this is, again, especially true for if you're thinking of buying something for some kind of event or party or trip. Basically, so often I forget to actually go to my closet and look at the options that I have, and then I'm sitting on my couch scrolling online, I'll find something that'll work great for this party or this event, and I'll buy it and I'll order it to my house. Then I'll get it, I'll try it on, it doesn't even fit me, and I have to return it and go through all that hullabaloo. But then I go to my closet and I'll find something that looks great, that I actually like better. Again, this is related to the last one. But if we don't take the time to actually walk up to our closet and visually survey what's there and remind ourselves of what's there, we might forget about great options that we already have. And so physically just getting up off of the couch, walking to your closet, and just leafing through what you have, it's a great strategy for reducing shopping and being able to kind of shop your own closet. You even can get that kind of feel of enjoyment like you're going to a store. And what's really fun to think about is that this is a closet that was curated by you for you. Someone who knows your taste, who knows how to get a good deal if you're a thrifty shopper, someone who knows your lifestyle. Yes, that person is you, but it has been, in a sense, professionally curated for you and for what you like and what you feel comfortable in. And so sometimes just walking up to your closet and reminding yourself of all the great pieces you already have, even if they're not all the absolute dream version, they're pretty good, and looking through can remind you of that. I think part of it is really trying to have a positive mindset also when you're looking at that closet, like almost complimenting your clothes, looking at what's there, noticing, you know what? This looks really cute on me because of XYZ, or I picked that out because of XYZ. Taking a moment to think about, why did I pick this out in the first place, and what did I like about it? How did I feel about it when I first wore it, and what got me excited about this particular piece? And then if you come across a piece that you're not excited about, heck, you can declutter it. I think in general, more face-to-face interactions with our closets help us whittle it down more and ultimately help us love our closets more. So get up and go to your closet before you buy something. Well, those were the 5 game-changing strategies I have for being more content with a minimal wardrobe. I hope they were helpful. Let me know if you have any thought strategies or behavioral strategies for how you keep a more minimal wardrobe, because honestly, I'm still working on it. I'm not the most extreme minimalist, and I do have a fair bit of wardrobe because I do like having options and all that, but I do think that ultimately keeping it a little bit more simple makes life a whole lot easier and allows me to enjoy the more important things ultimately, at least for me. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. It's an excellent way to support the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this about simple living, minimalism, building an empowering mindset, then hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for spending this little bit of time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.